Hello everyone and welcome to the round 10 trades vice captain video. Well, first off, we've already got team selection for the Brisbane Lions and Geelong game, which is quite important because we've got a couple of players of interest in this game. So Darcy Gardner's back in from the Brisbane Lions and Dara Joyce has been omitted. So he was going to be a highly traded in player for coaches this week. But Brisbane has done you a favour there and just omitted him before you could trade him in this week and then you get dropped next week and then you have a dead rookie. So, yeah, if you have traded in Dara Joyce, reverse your trades now. All right, and on the Geelong side, well, we've got Jack Henry back. Now, why is Jack Henry relevant here? Well, because across all the games this year, the games that Jack Henry has played, Tom Stewart has scored well. So hopefully, that happens this week as well. All right, so let's have a look at the team now. All right, so we boosted last week to build up some cash because we wanted to trade Marshall out in a straight swap for Dane Zorko. But apparently Todd Marshall is on the plane to Darwin, so he might actually be selected. Like, he's not 100% confirmed to be playing, but he's gone up there, so he may be selected. Josh Lai is out, I believe, and Miles Bergman. So there's a couple of forced changes there at least, and I think there's another forward rookie, Tom Anastopoulos, I don't know if I said that right, who is confirmed to debut. And also another confirmed debut is, what's his name from Carlton? Jack Ison. So, maybe there's a couple of rookies coming our way in the next couple of weeks. All right, so what I might do, if Todd Marshall is selected, perhaps I'll trade out Blamires instead, because what's he averaging? 68, scored a 60. He's made us 196.5k cash. He's done a very good job, and his break-even 60, so it might be time for him to go. All right, so we might trade out Tommy Blamires. So we've got 512 there, and bring in the magician, Dane Zorko, who is coming off a calf injury. That low score is out of his system now. With his break even, 83. So we're going to complete this trade. There we go. He's just got that nice halfback roll, takes kick-ins. So we're going to bring him in, even though he is about 40 or so years old, and put him on the field for Selwood. So Selwood can just be our cover for now. All right, so even though he's nearly maxed out as well. But just the lack of defensive rookies, it's really hurt. A couple that I have got my eye on is, if we go to players, all right, we've got Edwards. So here's one that I'm interested in, Bill Edwards, but he's already had one price rise, negative 19, break even. Does Tommy McCartan come back into the side? Not quite sure. But if I was going to jump on him, probably should have been last week. But why have Tom Edwards when we can have Tom Burton? All right, another player. Let's have a look. We've got Paddy Cross, who's 136.5k, negative is 26 break even. He scored a nice 72 last week, but the two games before that, before he got injured, was in the 30s. So 72, scored 3 goals. He's not going to play West Coast every week, so I'm not quite sure if I want to go there. But he is an option. All right, and he came back straight away after he had an injured hand, I think. So maybe that's a good sign that he has some nice, good job security. But I wouldn't say it's rock solid though. All right, so that's another one. Another one, we've got Henry. Where is he? Liam Henry. He's a bit more expensive, 160.7, negative 40 for 7 break even. So playing against the Tigers as well this week. So Yeah, could he be one that we bring in? Yeah, he's definitely one to think about. All right, and yeah, don't think there was any others that I wanted to look at. Oh yes, there's another one. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be selected. Whoops, Durkin. Wade Dirksen. All right, he's 99k defender, but he's playing as a forward in the VFL, and he kicks like 5-6 goals or something like that. So could he come in, and could we put him on our bench? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see till teams are named. All right, so yeah, if anything was to change, I will put it on X on probably Friday night. All right, okay, so if we go back to my team. All right, because there's a few things here. All right, so if Marshall's selected, we keep him just because he's got that 32 break even. Hopefully, he can go into that defensive role, not play forward, or hopefully not switch, between forward and back in between games. Yeah, so that's a bit annoying. All right, we've got Dyson Sharp, who is out for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's going to be round 16, so that's after his bye. That's even if he comes back straight away. He might come back through the VFL. I do think he will get... Actually, how many games has he played? Does he qualify? Okay, he's only played the 5 games, so don't think he actually... If he played one more game, I think he would have qualified to get the forward status. But yeah, 1 game short, I think. All right, but yeah, he was looking good. So, but injured his shoulder, unfortunately, so he might have to go. All right, at least he's made us a little bit of cash. He's got to 184k. All right, Sam Cumming. Now, I think Kane McAuliffe has got Achilles issue, so he might be out. I think he had some CBAs. Yeah, as soon as Taranto came back, Cumming lost all his CBAs, and yeah, he was played more forward, but. Yeah, with McAuliffe out, could he get some of those CBAs back, which could help boost his score here? All right, or do we keep the emergency on Anderson, keep Sharp, and if Anderson scores well Friday night against Sydney, put Dyson Sharp on or Sam Cumming? So I'm happy to field Rechko. All right, he's been pretty good. Yeah, 72. He's been putting that scoring that pretty consistently there. All right, so that's one thing I might do. Alright, so I'm not going to play Tom Burton on field. What else we got? McAndrew. Now, apparently McAndrew didn't train today. I think Adelaide have had some short breaks in between games. Maybe they're resting him up for Cherry. But yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye out on that if he is selected. Apparently Riley O'Brien was training with the A's. But yeah, one to watch for team sheets. Watkins is apparently on the plane as well to Darwin, so it looks like he should play. Don't think I'm looking to trade out any of the forwards at the moment. Cook, he's still cooking. Philippou, he plays Richmond. Yeah, what we might do. All right, in case McAndrew is dropped, all right, we could go trade out Dyson Sharp and potentially. Well, yeah, we could move Watkins up to the forwards, and we could trade in Cross. All right, don't really love it, but he might make us a little bit of cash, hopefully. All right, or we could even, if he is selected, big if, move Marshall down here. Actually, first, Edwards. That's if he's selected. And if we can trade out McAndrew if he doesn't play. Yeah, no, that doesn't give us enough because we'd want to get in McCluggage, even though he might get a Hoshin Mullen tag. Alright, so we could go Dirksen. Oops. And McCluggage. And yeah, we could do that. Or we could even leave Marshall there. Wait, what's happened here? I want McCluggage in there. Watkins up here. And like we could even trade like a Nick Cox at 134k. I'm not real confident he's going to be a big scorer, or well, it's Essendon. He could come out of the side anytime. We could do Cross, and that would work. We'd have 4.8k left in the bank. Really do want to start building up some bank for the buy rounds, because round 13 I want to trade in some of those round 12 players, like your Rankins, your Cherries, your LDUs, etc. Alright, but yeah, I don't have anywhere near enough money to try and do that, so hopefully we can build some of that. Alright, so yeah, that would be the plan. If McAndrew were to be out, and yeah, that would mean we'd use our last boost. Alright, so we're going to cancel that for now. And for now, we're just going to do the one trade at the moment. Don't forget also, we've got the mid-season draft coming up. I think it's between around 11 and 12. So, these guys that are selected, they might not play straight away. Or if it's a Richmond player, you might have to play. Okay, because you're running out of players. Not struggling to field a side. And I think they've got a couple of mid-season draft picks. Alright, so, yeah, that is the plan at the moment. Plan A is this one. To just do the one trade. Blamires to Zorko, which will leave us 53.9k. And plan B and C, well, yeah, I just showed you just before. Alright, so in terms of captains, so we've got some pretty good matchups, I believe, in our team. Got Archie Roberts, who plays Fremantle, who give up a lot of points to defensive kickers. Whitfield, same thing against West Coast. Jack Sinclair, same thing against Richmond. Zorko, probably wouldn't against Geelong. Stewart, probably not against Brisbane. Lindsay, if he could score us 80s, that would be, still be good. I think his break even is about 80. Yeah, right on 80. But happy to field him. Selwood's just for cover. Dacos, no, not against James Jordan. Oliver for Callahan against West Coast, but I would have to put just straight put the captain on them because they play in the last game. Walsh, no, and Fresco, definitely no. Gawn, who's Melbourne playing? They're playing Hawthorn, so no, I'm not going to go there. They play on the Saturday afternoon, smack bang in the middle of the round. Luke Jackson plays against Essendon on the Sunday, I believe. Yep. And Sheasel against Adelaide, perhaps. I don't think they tag. Gold Coast against Port Adelaide. Could he get Drew? Not sure, but I'm not going to go there. McInerney, no. All right. So the vice captain is going to be between Butters and Bontempelli. I'm really not sure because Butters, well, midfielders score well against Gold Coast. They don't tag. But Bont, he's Bont. And I keep saying it over the last few weeks, like a wounded Bont is a dangerous Bont in terms of scoring Supercoach. But they're playing Carlton. Do they bring in Cooper Lord to tag him? Not quite sure. But even so, I'd probably still back Bont. And whenever you get opportunity to vice captain Bont, you usually do it. Actually, even though they play after Melbourne, but my gut is telling me that Butters is going to have a big one against the Gold Coast. All right, and then the captain, well, it will be Lukey Jackson up against Essendon. Playing against just a recently returned Nick Bryan and Peter Wright. All right, so that's the plan for this week. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. Good luck, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.